Namaste. Welcome to 365 Days of Healing here at My Health Yoga. I'm back today. I'm here in my clinic on the Gold Coast to talk about the pineal gland. So, as part of my job as an acupuncturist, I often talk about hormones. A lot of people have a sense that their hormones are either out of balance or that there's some problems with their hormones. But it's important to firstly understand exactly what hormones are and why they're important. Hormones are basically like messages in the body that travel around, almost like text messages, and they have to be read by a specific audience at a specific time in order for all of the communication in our body to help us stay healthy and balanced. The pineal gland in particular is very important. Out of all of our glandular tissue, so a gland is part of the body that either creates hormones or helps to regulate them. So the pineal gland in particular is really interesting because it's located in the brain itself, directly back from the third eye chakra. So third eye chakra is right here and the pineal gland is just behind. The ancient Egyptians were some of the first to actually explore the internal structure of the body, including the brain, to dissect it and to discover this gland itself. And if you look back at ancient Egyptian medicine, Greek medicine, of course, yoga philosophy, and Chinese medicine as well, there's a lot of similarities between the third eye chakra and the pineal gland. So what does the pineal gland do in terms of hormones? The hormones that the pineal gland help to regulate, in particular, help us to sleep and help us to wake up again. So it's our sleep-wake cycle. Just like the ovaries in a female help with the reproductive cycle, there has to be a cycle with hormones. So it should be flowing in a balanced way. So the hormone to actually help us go to sleep is called melatonin, and it upregulates, which means it starts to elevate in the bloodstream as the sun goes down. Every single cell in our body has the ability to react to sunlight, not to electricity, so not to electric, but only to sunlight, the light codes as we that come from the sun. So even the cells inside us that we can't even see, that never actually see the sun, they can sense it and they know when it's daytime. They also know when the sunlight starts to fade. It's kind of like an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging machine, that helps to look into the body and display things that the naked eye can't see. Well, it's exactly the same as our cells. Even if we're inside, our cells still know how much sunlight there is outside. It's really amazing. So as the sun starts down, the pineal gland is meant to upregulate or increase melatonin to help us relax and to promote sleep. Why is sleep important? Sleep is our rest and digest time. That's when we digest, not just when we digest food, but when we digest all of the experiences of the day in the 3D world. We have to digest everything that we've seen, experienced, felt, reacted to, learnt, planned, the good, all of the bad. Of course, we also have to digest what we've eaten, what we've drunk, in order to help create new cells and to heal, to boost our immune system and to stay healthy. So what happens if we have too much on the mind? Maybe we're not allowing the body to switch off and we stay in that sleep state. Eventually we get something like a second wind late at night. However, that's usually because the body has worked out we're not going to bed. And so instead of melatonin, which is quite a soft yin feminine hormone, the body produces a bit more adrenaline. We get a second wind, which means, the heart speeds up a little bit. We have a little bit of energy, but it's not necessarily a good thing, because over time, hormonally, you will find that you have less and less melatonin and your sleep quality will get a little bit diminished. So what does the pineal gland have to do with the third eye? Interestingly, the pineal gland itself, so it's glandular tissue, but the tissue or the cells in the pineal gland are very similar to the cells in our eyes, and they're called rods and cones. So one would ask the question, why would we have eye tissue or eye cells in a gland. And that's where the name the third eye actually comes from, because these two eyes, we say, see what's in front of us, but the third eye actually sees the truth. The third eye is our intuition. Even more interesting, the third eye contains up to 20 tiny little crystals. And these crystals are similar to clear quartz, which was used in the first transmitter radios. So these crystals help to either project a signal like a transmission or receive it back. It's thought that when we go to sleep at night, if the melatonin upregulates and if we drift off into slumber appropriately, the third eye takes over. However, the third eye doesn't work in the 3D world. It doesn't understand definite boundaries such as time and space. It doesn't look through the eyes, and it doesn't use the nervous system to evaluate our world. So it doesn't use the 5 senses. It uses our 6th sense, the one that really tells us what the truth is. But at the moment, with everything going on in the world, if you find it difficult to sleep, that's understandable. If you find that your dreams are a little strange, that's understandable as well. But pay attention to what you're doing when the sun starts to go down. Yin yoga, meditation, mindfulness. Try to avoid any stimulants like sugar and caffeine, and help your body to come into a really restful state, particularly around that 5 till 7 p.m. time, kidney time, 7 till 9 p.m., our pericardium time. So between 5 and 9 p.m., you really want to be calming down. Now, for my night owls out there, don't worry if you like staying up at nighttime. As long as you feel calm and grounded, then that's fine. The issue is if you push yourself awake because you're so busy and you feel like you don't have the choice. I hope you enjoyed listening to the pineal gland and third eye, at least my interpretation of it. Joe Dispenza has some really interesting information. Of course, there's lots to learn on our YouTube, our podcast, and of course, My Health Yoga TV. I'll see you next time on 365 Days of Healing. Namaste.